So why did I decide to buy a HMO? Well, the short answer is I'm tight, right? I saw the rental income that we were spending on my daughter's accommodation at uni, and I just thought, I'm not having this. I'm not prepared to pay dead money for the next 3 years and have nothing to show for it. What started so my daughter, Grace, has gone to Nottingham University and she goes into halls of residence in year one. The cost of those halls of residence are about £6,000 a year, which was sort of what we expected. What I didn't realise was then on the second year when she moves out of halls and into shared accommodation, that I didn't expect the cost of that to increase. And in Nottingham in particular, which is where she is, the cost of student accommodation is pretty expensive. And for a shared house with, I think, 4 or 5 other people, the bill is going to be about £7,000 a year, and that's plus bills. So it got me on this path of starting to look at accommodation, look at the yields, and just realise that really what I need to be doing is generating some revenue to offset the rent that I'm going to be getting in those areas. And there's a huge demand. People are signing up 6 to 7 months before the next term starts for their accommodation for the following year. So there's a huge demand. There's a huge yield, in my opinion, from those rental incomes. And what it'll allow me to do is offset the rent that we're having to pay for Grace's accommodation in that second year. Now, obviously, you need to be careful. If you buy a HMO and a family member lives in it, there are some rules around that. So you just need to be mindful of that if you're going to put your children into the property that you own. But we'll cover that later on. But what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to go through all of the actual numbers, the purchase price, the deposit. And the other thing I forgot to mention is that what I've done and how I've structured this is that I've set up a limited company. So I've set up a limited company where I've taken money from my existing trading company to put money into my property limited company to fund a good portion of the purchase price. And that is something that's probably worth sharing as well, because I know there are a lot of business owners and a lot of people that have companies where they maybe have got retained profits and they're unsure what to do with them. So this really was a bit of a perfect storm. We had some retained profits in the company. We suddenly had a need to maybe generate some revenue to offset my daughter's rent. And the timing couldn't have been better in terms of us looking to purchase this HMO. So in the next video, I will be getting into the numbers. I will be getting the numbers out and I'll be sharing with you exactly the purchase price, the figures. I will also have a bit of a detour into how I set up and the process of setting up my SPV, my special purpose vehicle, which is the limited company specifically designed and set up to hold investment property. So there's lots to come. I'm just lining it up for the next one. So hopefully you'll still be with me and you'll continue to join me on this journey. We haven't got to the stage of a mortgage offer yet. So hopefully we'll get to that stage in these videos before the offer comes out and we'll get right up to speed and up to date. So as always, I wish you well and I'll speak to you soon.